Ladies and gentlemen, the Pleb is back. In today's report, things got absolutely crazy this weekend in the streets of Ottawa, where pro-Palestine protesters and straight-up communists were celebrating the terrorist attacks of October 7th. As well, tonight, Pierre Poilievre delivers a speech that is so good that we're going to feature it on this show. And in our last story, Pierre Poilievre hits 1 million followers on X, and the left has a meltdown. You won't want to miss tonight's story. Stick around. Today's episode has been brought to you by Beaver Bitcoin. Beaver Bitcoin is the easiest place to buy Bitcoin here in Canada. All you got to do is send an Interac e-transfer and you get your Bitcoin instantly. If you guys don't have a Beaver Bitcoin account, head over to beaverbitcoin.com/pleb and sign up for an account today in the link in the description below. Thank you, Beaver Bitcoin, for believing in freedom, of speech, and let's start the report. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel already, smash the subscribe button. Watching my channel grow absolutely triggers the left, so if you want to contribute to liberal tears today, smash the subscribe button, because I'm going to tell you the news the mainstream media won't. Welcome to your Monday report. We got a lot to get to here, and I'm a little under the weather today. I don't know if you guys could hear it in my voice, but I'm gonna battle through this. Before we get into tonight's stories, I want to start tonight's report with some follow-ups on some stories that I've been covering on my channel. Well, would you look at what is trending in Canada today? Trudeauing is trending. Yes, if you guys watched yesterday's video, Andrew Scheer is trying to get Trudeauing added to the English dictionary. And there's a petition going around for this to happen. So if you guys want to see Trudeauing make it to the dictionary, sign the petition in the comments down below. In our second follow-up of the night, you guys remember when I covered the gold heist the other day, and we showed the video on this channel of the gentleman involved in the $22 million robbery going to the gym? Well, apparently, Lifetime Fitness has banned this individual. He's no longer allowed at their gym, and it's kind of sad that a gym chain here in Canada is more strict than our legal system, but hey, you got to give Lifetime Fitness some kudos here. And in our third and last follow-up of the night here, do you guys remember the clip I showed you guys last week of Cat Canada in Ottawa saying that Chrystia Freeland told her that the Canadian government is currently looking for influencers to get its message out? Well, look at this headline from the Toronto Sun. Liberal government turning to influencers to get its message to younger Canadians. So it's actually true. And that's why I reported it on this channel, because I have no doubt that Cat Canada is telling the truth. And in this post here, she's dunking on everyone saying, ha ha ha, told you. Well done, Cat Canada. All right, let's get into tonight's stories. Now, I don't know if you've been living under a rock or not, but over the weekend, a clip in front of Parliament Hill went mega viral all over the internet, where the pro-Palestine protesters and the communists in the crowd were cheering on October 7th, celebrating a terrorist attack in the streets of Canada. Watch this.
To the sea, you reply with Palestine is almost free, because our resistance attacks are proof that we are almost free. October 7th is proof that we are almost free. Long live October 7th. Long live the resistance.
Long live October 7th. Long live the resistance. Is this really happening in the streets of Canada? Is this serious?
Proof that we are almost free. Long live October 7th. Long live the resistance. Long live the Intifada.
Long live the Intifada. How nice.
Long live every form of resistance.
Long live every form of resistance. So they're literally celebrating a terrorist attack in the streets. This is what Canada has become. This is insane. Also, did you guys notice all these communist flags here? And everyone holding these communist flags seem to be wearing masks. They're the people who are still wearing COVID masks. It's insane. Wow. Absolutely insane that this is what our country has come to. I mean, 2 years ago, we had the Freedom Convoy, and a bunch of protesters had a hot tub in the middle of Wellington Street, and the left lost their bloody minds. But for whatever reason, now we're literally having a parade every weekend celebrating literal terrorist attacks, and the left are absolutely silenced. Their hypocrisy is never ending. And this tweet by Raheem Mohammed kind of really touched me here, saying, I genuinely can't think of a time I've been more fearful for Canada's future. I 100% agree. What the hell is happening to this country? We truly live in crazy times, but thankfully we have a real leader in this country who's about to be prime minister, and his name is Pierre Poilievre, and within hours, a couple of hours of this video going viral, he came out and he condemned it, like a real leader does. And after Pierre Poilievre's tweet, Justin Trudeau took his sweet time, 6 hours after Pierre's tweet to be exact, to come out with this tweet condemning the protests in Ottawa this weekend. But the funny thing with Justin is he has the actual power to do something and end this crap in Canada, but instead, all he does is tweet. And the following day, ironically on Earth Day, Justin Trudeau showed up with his giant convoy of SUVs to his office, and Daisy Media asked Justin Trudeau for some comments about what happened over the weekend, and of course he got no response.
Justin Trudeau rolling up.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Trudeau, could we get a comment about the hate rally here on the weekend? You made a statement. Could we get a comment? These hate rallies are escalating.
Of course he got no reply, but that should not shock anyone. And today, Chrystia Freeland was asked the same questions about what happened over the weekend, and of course she deflected like a weasel.
Over the weekend, protesters in Ottawa were heard chanting, among other things, "Long live October 7th," and October 7th is proof that we are almost free. Is this hate speech?
I wasn't in Ottawa over the weekend, and I'm not aware of those specific reports, and so it would be just wrong of me to comment on something that I am not specifically aware of.
Liar.
What I will say is today is a time in Canada when anti-Semitism and Islamophobia are on the rise.
Islamophobia is the problem right now, according to them. Islamophobia. There's literally pro-Palestine protesters celebrating terrorist attacks, but they want to make this about Islamophobia? They are literally trying to deflect. They're trying to stay neutral so they don't lose any votes. They want to maintain their support. This is a weasel answer.
When we have there are a lot of Canadians who are not feeling safe.
But thankfully, this weaseling done by the Liberals is not going on deaf ears. As pointed out by Stephen Taylor here on his tweet, I'm going to show you guys some numbers here. After Iran attacked Israel, I want to show you guys the kind of engagement that the Israeli embassy got on Pierre's tweet and Justin Trudeau's tweet. Watch. Justin Trudeau's tweet got quote tweeted by the embassy here and only got 31 likes, okay? Now let's look at Pierre Poilievre's here, which got quote tweeted by the embassy as well. And this post has 1,700 likes. So 30 likes for the prime minister, 1,700 likes for Pierre. I think it's safe to say that the Liberals have lost the Jewish vote. And it's not just the Jewish vote that the Liberals have lost, because the latest polling numbers are out, and Pierre Poilievre is still maintaining a 20-point lead here in the Abacus data poll, which is absolutely incredible. And if you actually map out this data here as done by the Real Albanian Patriot, Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives are headed towards a 234-seat supermajority. Canadians have had enough of these liberal clowns. And while we're on this topic of Pierre Poilievre, let's shift away from the negative liberals and let's talk about Pierre Poilievre, who gave a speech this week on the floor of the House of Commons that was so good that it's going viral all over X. Let's watch.
What you're seeing here is a very different philosophical approach. The finance minister said in her concluding remarks that what we need is a bigger and stronger government.
Nope.
Doesn't that sound eerie? A bigger and, in other words, she and he want to be bigger and stronger.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? And that's why they're always trying to make Canadians feel weaker and smaller.
Agreed.
He literally called our people a small fringe minority.
Boom. Let's go.
He jabs his fingers in the faces of our citizens. He calls small businesses tax cheats. He claims hunters are just Americans. If you own a hunting rifle, you're just an American. He points his fingers at people who disagree with him. He has the audacity of claiming anyone who is offside with him is a racist. This guy who dressed up in racist costumes so many times, he can't remember them all. He's been denigrating other people his whole life. That's because it's all about him. It's all about concentrating more power and more money in his hands. This budget is no different. It's about a bigger government and smaller citizens. It's about buying his way through the next election with cash that the working class people have earned and he has burned. By contrast, I want the opposite. I want smaller government to make room for bigger citizens.
Let's go.
I want a state that is a servant and not the master.
Let's go.
I want a country where the prime minister actually lives up to the meaning of the word. Prime, first, minister, servant. That's what minister means. Minister is not master. Minister is servant. We need a country that puts people back in charge of their money, their communities, their families, and their lives. A country based on the common sense of the common people, united for our common home. Your home, my home, our home. Let's bring it home. And so I move, seconded by the member for Mégantic-L'Érable, that the motion be amended by deleting all words after the word that and substituting the following. The House reject the government's budget since it fails to A, axe the tax on farmers and food by passing Bill C-234 in its original form. B, build the homes, not bureaucracy, by requiring cities permit 15% more home building each year as a condition for receiving federal infrastructure money. C, cap the spending with a dollar-for-dollar rule to bring down interest rates and inflation by requiring the government to find $1 in savings for every new dollar of spending. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Pierre Poilievre is going to be the next prime minister. And over the weekend, the momentum is just continuing here for Pierre Poilievre as something absolutely huge happened. As announced here on X, Pierre Poilievre has officially hit 1 million followers on X. And the reaction from the left is absolutely priceless. Now get some popcorn ready because we are about to read some really hilarious triggered comments from the left on Pierre Poilievre hitting this milestone. Our first ridiculous comment comes from Sonia, who writes in all caps lock, so you know she's pissed off. She writes, Trudeau has 6.6 million followers. Pierre Poilievre has a lame 1 million followers. Anyone with common sense and could do math will know that 6.6 million is far greater than 1 million. It's 5.6 million more followers. Wow, I guess liberals can do math. Good job, Sonia. Shaishido writes, that's Pierre's biggest accomplishment in 20 years. Claire D writes, most of them are bots. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has 6.6 million. Thank you, Captain Obvious. This one from Sin is pretty crazy here. Interesting, since about 3 days ago, he was only at 990K. 10K followers all of a sudden in about 3 days? Bet they're not even Canadian, or he just bought them. Justin Trudeau has 6 times that. They're triggered. They're very triggered. G. Comus writes, and most of them came from Alexis Jones' affection for this liar. Margot writes, and half of them are bots. Andrew writes this is my favorite one here. Of course, with this screenshot, favorability of Pierre Poilievre decreases with education. So wait, the educated ones have watched our country deteriorate and get destroyed over the last 9 years, and they're the educated ones because they want more of it. Make it make sense. Let's keep this going because we got some more crazy ones here. From Marlon, this one's nuts. They're all Albertans. Yes, Pierre's followers are all from Alberta. That's crazy. Leor Linda writes, this was his follower count the day he got the endorsement from Wacko Jones at 954,000. So what's the increase? Americans and more bots? It's funny that the people who were first to line up for an experimental shot and told you to trust the science, all of a sudden don't appear to believe the polls and have gone into full conspiracy mode. Hilarious. Nick writes, yep, most of his followers speak Russian only. Jill writes, 999,900 of them are Russian bots. Conspiracy much? Lou writes, well, we know there's at least 1 million dumb idiots out there. Well, at least Lou believes the followers are real. And our last one of the night from Chicken Judge saying, yep, the boys are doing great, you effing imbecile. Quite the absolutely unhinged, ridiculous response to Pierre Poilievre hitting 1 million followers. You can see it in these comments that the leftists, they're worried. They know Pierre Poilievre's going to be the next prime minister, and it's making them even crazier. Congratulations to Team Pierre Poilievre on hitting 1 million followers. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap here for today's video, but tell me in the comments down below, how do you guys feel about those protests in Ottawa over the weekend? Do those scenes disturb you as a Canadian? Does this belong in Canada? I want to know in the comments down below. Also, Pierre's speech, rate it 1 to 10. Tell me what you thought of Pierre's speech, and also the liberal meltdown over Pierre Poilievre hitting 1 million followers. What did you think about the reaction from the left? All right, guys, if you enjoy my channel and you want to support me, the best way to do it is to continue watching my videos. Drop a comment down below. Like the video so YouTube recommends it to more people. Share with your friends. Tell your friends about the Pleb Reporter on YouTube. My name is the Pleb, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.